Hey, and welcome to this jazz guitar lesson on the chords to the 1942 standard There Will Never Be Another You. And this lesson is going to go as follows. I'm going to show you what I think are the best kind of basic approach to the chords, and then I'll show you typical variations that you will encounter when you listen to other versions or you play with other people. Let's think about the form first. This is a 32-bar swing standard, and it's A1, B1, A2, B2. So chord shapes you're going to need for this one: E flat major 7, D minor 7 flat 5, G7, C minor 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7. You're going to need A flat major 7, D flat 9, F7, F minor 7, B flat 7. We're also going to need A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, C7. So here's the A section on the screen, the first 8 bars. And we have E flat major 7 for 2 bars, D minor 7 flat 5, to G7, going to C minor, and then a B flat minor 7, going to an E flat 7. In B1, we have A flat major 7 to D flat 9, E flat major 7 to C minor 7, F7, F minor 7, B flat 7. We then have another A section, which is identical to the first one. So E flat major 7, 2 bars, 1 bar, D minor 7 flat 5, 1 bar, G7, 2 bars of C minor 7, 1 bar, B flat minor 7, 1 bar, E flat 7. B2, as I've labelled it, the last 8 bars are a bit busier. Let's hear what that sounds like. So we've got A flat major 7 to D flat 9, into E flat major 7, then A minor 7, D7, E flat major 7, D7, G minor 7, C7, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major, B flat 7. Whew. And here's the whole thing. That first A section, the first 8 bars, don't often change too much. It's the B section, that first B section, which really does get pulled around a little bit. So here's a few variations of that. First one, so here's bars 9 to 12, the start of the first B section. On my chart, it was A flat major 7, D flat 9, E flat major 7, C minor 7. A really common thing to do here is just to change the D flat 9 and voice it as a D flat 9 sharp 11. Now this is a tricky chord to play. You want to bar the first finger so it covers certainly the D string because you need it for that note, and also the high E. Quite a fiddly chord to play. Why do we need that chord there? Well, that note, that sharp 11, that's the melody note at that point in the song. So you'd have then E flat major 7 into C minor 7 as normal. But it will sound fine with the D flat 9. That's just if you want to bring out the harmony a little bit more. Another way you can do that is get rid of the D flat 9 altogether and play an A flat minor 6, something referred to as the minor 4, because A flat major 7 is the 4 chord in this key of E flat. So we could have A flat major 7, D flat 9, then our E flat into C. Now, here it is, compared to the D flat. It's subtle. Why does this work in place of D flat 9? If you compare A flat minor 6, well, the notes of a D flat 9 are D flat, in this voicing, D flat, F, B, E flat, A flat. In this A flat minor 6 I'm doing A flat, D, B, E flat. It's the same notes, just missing the D flat, so they can sub for each other. Compared compared to the D flat minor has a bit more movement. The A flat 9 is a bit kind of more melancholy sounding because you get major to minor, which sounds quite cool. And another variation, one I particularly don't like if I'm honest, but just in case, because you will probably encounter it, is to do away with all of that D flat and the A flat minor 6 and have a 2/5 back to the E flat. So you go A flat major 7, then F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat, and G C minor. The other point of discussion really in this song is the last 4 bars, and this is often one people argue about and disagree over what should be there. Then what we had on our original way was E flat major, D7, G minor, C7, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat, B flat. So a lot of just 2/5 movements. And this next example, all we're going to do is get rid of the D7 and place it with an A flat. Now, when you move E flat to A flat, it's like the start of a blues really, because it's A flat's the 4th of E flat, so it gives it a bluesy sound. You hear that? D7 and A flat also have a reciprocal relationship. They're tritones of each other, so it's like a sub of the D7. A flat is a semitone above the G minor 7, which means it falls nicely into it. I really like that sound. I realise I've just played that differently to how it is on the sheet. I've restricted some of the chords just to reduce the amount of chords shapes you need to know. I think on the sheet I've got E flat there, A flat there, and G minor up there. Obviously you don't have to make that big jump. You could go E flat major, A flat 7, G minor there at fret 3. And the final variation for those last few bars is tritone central. We're going to go E flat, A flat 7, G minor 7, G flat 7 instead of C7, so that's a tritone sub again, F minor 7, E7, again a tritone sub, this time for B7, E flat, B flat 7, which should sound like this. Don't forget you can download the PDF and the chord shapes from my website and listen to loads of versions. Look it up in the real book, look up some charts online, just look for these sort of different variations in terms of the way the chords can be played. Ultimately, go with what you like the sound of, and if you're playing with someone else, you do need to agree as to what you're going to play at those typical variation points. Finally, some versions I suggest you listen to. Lionel Hampton 1950, Lester Young with Oscar Peterson from I think 1952. Chet Baker's version I really love. He does a cool thing where it starts in one key and it changes to another key when his vocal comes in, which is cool. Nat King Cole's version, and there's a really great live George Benson one. I can't think where from, but that was a cool one I heard the other day. If you're new here, my name's Andy. Jazz guitar lessons every Wednesday and Saturday. Leave me a comment, hit that like button if you gained value from today's lessons. It really helps boost how this video performs. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.